Computer-based accounting softwares. The society had used 3. One of them, financially, it was used in 2016 for around 3 to 5 months. It failed. There was Navision, which was implemented around 2015. It was used for a very short time, then it was abandoned. And currently, the society is using a software called Banker's Ring. Banker's Ring is by Kraft Silicon Company, and it's a software that is being used by very big Saccos, even bigger than Ekeza, and even banks, commercial banks. So the issue of not keeping proper books cannot be related to the information system. The system was not fully implemented. So the issue is not the system was not there. It is not that the accountants were not there. Accountants were there, but the implementation of the system was not properly done. Now, internal control, the accounting function was not organized. Accounting staff did not have specific instructions regarding their deployment, duties, or reporting requirements. Some, including the head of finance, did not have letters of appointment. So, your department, your pesa, mipangilio, ya kazi, hakukua. One of the records that's supposed to be kept in an organization of the kind of Ekeza is a checks register. It was not there. It should give the trail of the payments by check. It was not kept. We have asset register. It was never kept. This one should have details about immovable or permanent assets of the society. So it was not kept. So it's not easy to tell which permanent asset or fixed asset belongs to Ekeza and which belongs to Gakuyo. Then there is an internal audit department. The internal audit department is there. The staff are competent, but their work was never appreciated. None of their reports was ever discussed by the management, so it was not effective. As much as the staff were getting their salaries, they were developing reports, the management never reviewed their reports, so it was not effective. Now, external audit, members, as you are aware, the society has not held general meetings, as it has been quoted earlier by my colleague. We have not had AGMs for 2 consecutive years. Now, the Corporate Societies Act requires every society or management to have, or the society to have its books audited, and the audit report laid before the general meeting not more than 4 months after the completion of the financial year. So, the audited accounts for 2016 are there, but an AGM was never called to discuss the accounts. So they were never implemented. Now, what happens when we have this situation? Section 2511 of the Corporate Societies Act provides that where a corporate society fails to cause its accounts to be audited within the prescribed period in respect of its business for the previous financial year, members of the committee shall automatically lose their possessions in the next general meeting and shall not be eligible for the election for 3 years unless the commissioner is satisfied the failure was due to circumstances beyond their control. Those are the provisions of the law as regards audit. So we are 2 years in arrears. 2017, 2018, they are not audited. Now, refunds to members. The amount of refunds due to members, those who have filled forms and they have declared they want to withdraw their savings, the amount starts at 602,445,284. There is a tabulation here per branch. So it may not be, but the whole figure is tabulated per branch. Now, as per the Sacco bylaw 17A, a member may withdraw from the Sacco by giving a notice of at least 60 days. Among the members yet to be paid, there are some who had withdrew from the Sacco in the year 2017. So there are some people who withdrew from the Sacco in the year 2017, and they are either not fully repaid or they are not being defrauded. Now, we shall come to the recommendations at the end. Now, we want to look at what was the cause of liquidity problems in the Sacco. The Sacco was receiving lump sum savings from new members. Member anakuja amebeba milioni moja, anasema ni savings. Alafu within 6 months, 1 million times 3, anaitisha loan ya 3 billion. Alafu anaambiwa you can pay in 60 months. So that is one of the factors that caused problem. Because mtu analeta milioni moja, anagojea 6 months, anakuambia multiply by 3. You are multiplying by 3, utoe wapi? Accumulation of savings should be gradual. A new society cannot start giving credit long term. You start 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, and eventually you can go to 60 or 72. But a young society cannot afford to give credit long term. The issuance of unsecured loans to non-members like Ulivi Housing Cooperative and the Ufanisi Ventures Housing Cooperative Society. These are cooperatives. They took money from Ekeza, they have not repaid, and they were not members in the first place, so they should not have got the loans. Issuance of unsecured loans to staff and the members of the management and supervisory committees way beyond their qualification. You are supposed to get 3 times your savings, but a member of a committee or staff, they were not observing that regulation. We shall see the tabulation below. Now, unsustainable high number of staff, wages, marketing, advertising, and other administrative expenses. It was also another cause of the liquidity problem. Outflow of funds by some members who were saving with a view to borrow and acquire low-cost Gakuyo zero deposit houses, particularly in the chosen Green City project. They had to withdraw, they had to be refunded after the prices of the houses escalated and they could no longer afford to buy those houses. So that is where mass withdrawal started, because it was a group of people and they were to be given all their money. Non-remittance of Sacco dues by Gakuyo University. Now, this is another issue. The employees and the director of Gakuyo University were members of Ekeza Sacco. They were being deducted for savings and loan repayment, but the same money was never remitted. It was never taken to the Sacco. So that was a problem.
You just look at the summary, don't explain the purpose,
Okay, tafadhali naomba nichanganye na Kiswahili na utafanya hivyo. Tunasema kampuni ya Gakuyo ilikuwa na members, staff na director walikuwa members wa Sacco. Wanakatwa savings, wanakatwa loan repayment. That money was never remitted to Ekeza Sacco even for a single month. Tangu mwanzo, hata yake director mwenyewe ile alikatwa ya mwanzo haijaifika Ekeza mpaka wa leo. So, hiyo ni shida ya liquidity. Extract from financial statements, we want to show how your expenses were faring compared to the income. Mapato yenu na matumizi. Tafadhali sikiliza, ama uache mwenye anasikia asikilize. Salaries and wages, ukiangalia mshahara 2015 ilikuwa 8.3 million. 2016, 65 million. 2017, 96 million. If you take an item like advertising, 2015, they spent 6.2 million on advertising. 2016, it went up to 50 million. And then in 2017, 78 million shillings was spent on advertising. Chukua rent. Rent ilikuwa 3 million 2015, ikaenda 109 million 2016, na ikifika 2017 ilikuwa 123 million. So lazima mngekuwa na shida, kwa sababu income yenu tukiangalia mwaka wa 2015 income ya interest ile mlikuwa nayo ilikuwa 30 million. 2016 ikaenda 109 million na 2017 123 million. Kwa hivyo income inaenda pole pole, lakini mapato yenu ina skyrocket. Surplus, tukitoanisha matumizi na mapato, 2015 kulikuwa na surplus na mkawawa dividend ya 28 million. 2016 ambayo hesabu haijasomwa kulikuwa na surplus ama faida ya 36 million. Lakini ukiangalia hesabu ya 2016 ambayo haijafanyiwa audit, haijakaguliwa, inaonyesha mwaka wa 2017 the Sacco suffered a loss, ilitengeneza hasara ya 85 million. So you can see sheda zinatoka wapi. Naomba mtulie tu. Hii ni nafasi mmekuwa nayo, mmekuwa mkigojea. Kuna wale wanashukuru kwa kuwa nayo, tafadhali usimnyime mwenzako haki yako. Katiba inasema unaweza kuenjoy haki zako, but only to the extent that you don't deny others from enjoying their what? Their rights. So when you are shouting and your neighbor cannot listen or hear, you are interfering with the constitutional right of that other person, and you are committing an offense. An offense, sikiza tafadhali sana, yule anapayuka tukiongea hapa, tukifanya biashara, anafanya nini? Hatia, ukiwa na sheria ya Kenya. Sio kama unafanya hatia. A public
this part, look at it.
Apart from the increasing costs ama expenses, we found out there were irregular cash transfers or the withdrawals. Kuna pesa ilitolewa kwa Sacco na haikuenda kufanya biashara ya nini ya Sacco. Mwaka wa 2015 ikatolewa 88 million, 2016 850 million, 2017 625 million, 2018 27 million. Kwa jumla kuna pesa ilitolewa kwa akaunti zenu. Nyinyi mnapiga kelele. Bilioni 1,550 billion was irregularly transferred or withdrawn from your accounts. Now, out of that, there are some members here who were given loans by Ekeza Sacco, and they wanted to get property assets from Gakuyo. The total given is 507,974 shillings. So, kama hiyo ingekuwa inapelekwa Gakuyo, tungekuwa tunasema ni sawa, kwa sababu ni member amepewa loan, anaenda kununua nyumba, anaenda kununua gari ama kitu kama hiyo. Hiyo ndio ingekuwa imetoka. Kwa hivyo ile imetoka ni mingi zaidi. Haya, on top of that, kuna wakati shida imekuwa, the director negotiated with some members na wakakubali wapewe mashamba badala ya kungojea kurudishiwa nini? Pesa. Hao watu wako na 30,109,540. Kwa hivyo ukichukua hiyo pesa imetoka 1.5 billion, uchukue ile angepewa kwa biashara halali 507,000 na utoe hii amenegotiate na members 30 million awapee mashamba, anabaki na pesa ya Sacco 1,52,746,094 shillings. Hiyo ndio pesa tunamdai David Gakuyo na Gakuyo Real Estate Limited, ambayo ilichukuliwa bila idhini na sio kwa njia halali. Now, hizi pesa zilikuwa zinatoka kwa njia gani? Sijui kama mnataka kusikiza. Haya, hizi pesa zilienda kwa mawakili. Wakili anapelekewa milioni ngapi? Anaambiwa andika agreement. David ananunua nyumba ambayo anaishi saa hii na pesa ya nani? Na iko hapa. Anaenda ananunua nyumba, shamba, kabati iko hapa. So, ile assets mnaambiwa saa hii ati zinatakiwa ziuzwe ndio mrudishiwe pesa yenu. Ni zile zilinunuliwa na pesa ya nani? Yenu. Haya, tumesema walikuwa wanatumia hiyo mawakili. Kuna pesa nyingine ilikuwa inatoka ikiwa cash. Ile ilikuwa inatoka cash, ilikuwa inatolewa na mtu anaitwa James, the vice chair, na ile nyingine inatolewa na Gladys. Na kulingana na records na kulingana na vile tuliongea na wao na wakatuelezea, kuna zile zilikuwa zinaenda kujenga nyumba kama zile za kabati, so invite wages za mafundi nini. Kuna zile zilikuwa zinaenda kwa hardware kununua materials za kujenga, na kuna pesa ambazo zilikuwa zinapelekwa kwa nyumba yake kama cash. So kwa hivyo hizo ndizo methods zilikuwa zinatumika kufanya nini? Kutoa hiyo pesa. Sasa hivi mnasikia? Sawa. Haya, tuendelee. Conclusion. Kulingana na maoni yetu, Ekeza Sacco Society Limited, though registered only 4 years ago, rapidly grew to register deposits of over 2.5 billion in 3 years. From our findings, the chairman deliberately mixed activities of Ekeza Sacco Society with those of his company, Gakuyo Real Estate Limited, and his personal activities or businesses. As demonstrated in the findings in this inquiry report, the only objective of forming the Sacco, Ekeza Society Limited, by the promoters, led by David Gakuyo, was to mobilize savings and form a customer base for their businesses, for their own benefits, and the members' welfare and interests came second. So Ekeza Sacco Society Limited was not formed for you, in our opinion. Ilikuwa kashfa. So the society has been characterized with poor governance and system failure that has culminated in the current crisis. This was in spite of the employment of qualified personnel and the use of management information systems. The management, in our opinion, had every reason to frustrate the full implementation of these systems to avoid exposure of their malpractices. So you have got very qualified accountants here. Nimewaambia the management information system ile mnatumia bankers realm imetumika na sako zingine kubwa zaidi na zile ziko na front office na imetumika na commercial bank moja ninajua. So the problem is not the system, it is not the staff. Lakini lazima igevurugwa ndio isitoe nini? Dalili. So now we have some recommendations that we have made. These are recommendations that, in our opinion, that can be implemented and resolve the issues, the problem at hand. Now, one, the society should maintain proper records. That one, kila mtu anajua. Ekeza Sacco should restrict membership to individuals. So, if you are a company, you are a cooperative, you are not supposed to be a member of Ekeza. Now, the Gakuyo real estate should pay 40,549,048 shillings. So, hii ile pesa wamekata wafanyakazi wao ya Sacco na hawajarejesha kwa Sacco, non-remittance. So, the amount was 20 million and something. Then you charge interest 5% pop out. It was coming to about 3 million, but it was capped at 20 million. So the total amount is 40 million. Now, this other one, Ekeza should have its books of accounts for the year 2017 and 2018 audited by an auditor appointed by the Commissioner as per Section 25(5) of the Corporate Service Act within a period of 3 months from the date of this report. Now, auditors are usually appointed at an AGM, and we are not able to hold an AGM within this period. So, in the event that the Senate does not have an auditor, the Commissioner will appoint one who will carry out the 2 years audit. The society should institute appropriate measures to recover the amount in default. Wale defaulters ambao walipi vizuri, loan zao ni 564,868. Management wanatakiwa watafute binu, they recover this money. The society should review, approve, and implement the savings and credit policy. The same should apply equitably among the members and officers. So, kama society inapeana 3 times of your savings, it should apply to the ordinary member, it should apply to the chairman, to the secretary, or to any other committee member. Now, the current and the former employees of the Sacco and Gakuyo real estate should immediately start servicing their loans and have the same properly secured within 30 days. Mwenye ako na loan ya Sacco, tafadhali wafanyakazi, mtu atafuta security within 30 days or you bring back the money. Those who fail to comply, bank and loan reconciliations must be done on a monthly basis. Review of the human resource policy to address critical issues of human resource planning and development. That one has to be reviewed. Kama mtu ni accountant na anafanya marketing, the management should know whether to deploy that person or what to do with that person. You are an accountant, you are employed as a customer care officer. Are you actually in the right place? So, hiyo mtengeneze, including the terms and conditions of service. The society should invest more in technology. So, here we are saying, technology itumike vizuri kurahisisha biashara. If you are a member, you should not take your passbook to the branch to be updated. Ukilipa pesa na M-Pesa, inatakiwa ikuletee message, ionyeshe Ekeza Sacco imepata nini? Pesa yako. So the management information system should be linked, iunganishwe na M-Pesa kama ndio itatumika na iunganishwe na banks. Then hiyo tumesema ya management information system. Now separation ya Gakuyo na Ekeza, this one is not debatable, lazima itenganishwe kabisa. The chairman of Ekeza Sacco should make good and is hereby recommended to be surcharged for an amount of 1,052,746,094 shillings that was moved from Ekeza to his personal activities and those of Gakuyo real estate, where him and the wife, Hannah Wacho Karaoke, are the directors. So, Chairman, your pesa inatakikana. Commissioner, the Commissioner's Office, in collaboration with the government agencies, tusikilize hapa, na kama unaweza tusaidia utuambie. We want the Commissioner's Office to collaborate with other government agencies to enforce the recovery of the Sacco funds irregularly transferred to David Karaoke Gari. So apart from the Cooperative Societies Act, we have got other acts of Parliament that can be invoked and be used in the recovery of these funds. Now, the Commissioner's Office, in collaboration with the County Government of Nairobi, City County, to ensure full implementation of these reports. So, Madam Officer, report inakuja kwako. So, utaangalia kama itakuwa implemented. Yeah, so we are implementing to oversee the full implementation of this report. Now, the current management committee of how many members? Awali tumesoma hapa ambao wako kwa committee. Listen, the management committee is hereby dissolved in accordance with section 25(11), section 28(4)(k) and the society bylaws as reflected in our findings in this report to pave way for appointment of an interim committee of 5 members for a period of 90 days in accordance with section 58(4)(a) and (b) of the Cooperative Societies Act. Kwa hivyo tunasema komiti ya Ekeza imevunjwa na tunahitaji watu 5 ambao watasimamia Ekeza Sacco kwa muda wa miezi 3 tukitayarishwa uchaguzi. Finally, this report has demonstrated how cash was irregularly moved from Ekeza Sacco society bank accounts and used by one David Karaoke Gari and Gakuyo real estate to acquire property. It's only fair to invoke the provisions of the Asset Recovery Act and other statutes in addition to use all other enabling legal means to restore Sacco funds. So, dear members, I'm very grateful. That's all we had for you, and I beg to see.